And welcome to the celebrated nightly news of Calaveras County. My name is John.
And I'm Kim.
And we thank you.
You caught me off guard a little. I was checking my email.
Oh, and we thank you for stopping by on a Monday night.
We always have to look at each other and say, what day is it again? They kind of all run together sometimes, don't they?
They do a bit at times.
Can we thank our sponsors or not?
We do. We want to thank Golden State Cellular for sponsoring the news tonight.
I'd like to thank you very much.
And also,
such nice people that work there.
Their marketing director, Daryl, is a new board member for the Calaveras Visitors Bureau.
Now, wasn't he always, or was he just reelected? I saw his name on something else.
This was new.
Okay, well, maybe he's a board member on something else.
I'm sure he is.
I'm sure he is. He's very active.
Do you want to do, let's do a weekend recap, and then we'll go to our big meeting tonight?
Sure, we had a very busy weekend this weekend. We had the Mission Improbable 3 last evening, the one and only night.
And this is a lot of fun.
Yes, 3 times the fun and 3 times the comedy by Hannah Aldrin. She took over 300 photos of the event. They were very happy with that. They were very excited to see the photos, the people that worked out there actually. One of the most entertaining and hilarious productions of the summer is Mission Improbable 3, titled 3 times the fun and 3 times the comedy. Mission Improbable is a Calaveras County version of the famous TV show Whose Line Is It Anyway? The game show consisted of two teams, red and blue. So actually, it's supposed to be very good. I've never seen it. You got to see it last year.
I saw it last year.
What are you doing?
Okay, there we go. All right. See, I'm the producer during the show while we do this. I have to keep looking to try to maintain my.
Okay.
Because we got to have these little professionalism here.
Okay. All right. We don't look
there
professional. Okay. I'm
Here
sorry.
we go. See there.
Then I can't read it if you do that. I might be like hunched over like this.
Oh.
Can I have a little bit closer? Thank you, John.
All right.
All right.
She hates it when I fiddle with her
last
stuff.
evening was Mission Improbable, the one and only time you're going to see it this year, unless you'd like to take a look at the 300 pictures we have on the pinetree.net.
There we go.
Very, very popular show every year that sells out. These are actually kids, younger kids that do this show, aren't they? Or no?
They're all ages.
They're all ages.
There are even some kids that are in their 70s. At least there was last year.
Some kids at heart, right?
Yes.
Okay. We also had the Oinkers and Oysters, which was sold out to over 700. Looks like they served over
huge.
700 people, and that was actually sold out a month or 2 ago, wasn't it? I can't find the article on that. You see it? Oysters and Oinkers.
Oysters and Oinkers. It's got to be there. It's got to be there.
Okay.
No? Doesn't?
I don't know. Over 700 people attended Oysters and Oinkers.
Oysters and Oinkers.
Oysters and Oinkers on Saturday night. Let me see. The annual Bret Hart High School FFA fundraiser, Oysters and Oinkers. The fundraiser was held at the Broglio Ranch on Dogtown Road in Angels Camp. It had a silent and live auction hosted by Ryan Sullivan along with a live band, Boost a Groove. Ironstone Vineyards and Murphy's was the sponsored winery, offering all of their special wines during the event. Very nice. We have another large photo slideshow for you to take a peek at that to find out.
Yep.
If you didn't get your ticket on time and weren't able to attend, you'll see what you missed, right?
Yep. See, I'm just fixing a typo here.
Sell out every year. Was it one of my typos?
No.
Yeah, probably.
It was an omission. I
get typing so fast that I find I do have typos.
And we should probably edit stuff after we're done with the news. But you're doing so well on the weekend stuff. I thought I could go ahead and finish this.
Okay, well go ahead. Yeah, I'll just keep on yakking. All right. Something else that happened over the weekend that was very exciting. Our Pine Tree Peddler did the Death Ride.
Yes.
The Death Ride, all 128 miles. What is the terrain for that Death Ride? It gets up to 9,000 feet, doesn't it?
Well, there's 15,000 vertical feet of climbing.
5 passes, right?
Yes.
He did it. He finished. Brett Loring, the Hazel Fisher principal, finished. He is the Pine Tree Peddler.
129 miles, 15,000 vertical feet of climbing.
Can you read a little bit of his
hail,
We actually have
rain.
some hail. We heard today that Tioga Pass is closed. We haven't heard anything about Ebbets Pass, but this year's Death Ride proved no less challenging of a cycling tour of the California Alps than previous year's rides. The skies cleared of smoke, particles, and time to not present a significant health hazard to the multitude of riders and families and other supporters who lined the roadway outside of Turtle Park in Markleepo with cars, lawn chairs, and tents to cheer on and welcome in the riders with cowbells and hearty applause as they passed by. Nevertheless,
that's a fun name.
Yes.
Turtle.
Yes, Turtle. Nevertheless, The same persistent grades and windy descents of Monitor's Pass, Ebbets Pass. Let me continue here. We have some nice photos. Nice, what, about 20 pictures or so?
Oh, yeah. Or more.
Or more, yes. Maybe 30?
Yeah.
20 or 30 pictures that he took for us while on cycle.
Yeah.
Let me see. Ebbets Pass, Carson Pass presented their bike handling challenges to riders of all levels, whether they were completing any number of the 5-pass course. Despite the implications of a death ride, a volunteer of the skeleton crew reported that there were only 2 cycling-related injuries that were responded to by emergency personnel. And neither were life-threatening. Well, thank goodness for that.
See,
there were 3,500 rider bibs issued this year.
That's amazing.
Isn't that amazing? I heard
amazing.
Marita Calloway was out there.
She was?
Greeting riders. Yes, she was.
Nice. Nice.
Okay. Maybe I don't want to watch the news yet, John. What are you doing?
There were 3,500
Oh, stop. What is this?
That's amazing.
Oh. What we were doing is I was testing, so we were watching ourselves.
Okay, all right, let's watch ourselves. Yeah, I really don't want to do that.
You don't want to watch yourself do the news while you're doing it?
So we have the full article by our Pine Tree Peddler up on the pinetree.net if you'd like to view that and also take a look at all the pictures that he took, and we'd like to thank him for doing that.
Very much so, Brett.
Also,
thank you very much.
Also for the Boreans for putting on their annual pesto dinner that they do on Friday evening the night before for all of the riders. Right?
Yes.
So I guess Marita was spotted at the Hermit Valley rest stop assisting the weary riders.
I bet she was.
Yes.
She does.
You see her everywhere, don't you?
You do.
She's good at that mixing and mingling stuff.
Yes, she is.
So what else happened this weekend? Let me see. Let me just run down real quick.
Okay.
What else? We had the big chamber event on Friday, the Economic Summit.
Mm-hmm.
Have you talked about that yet?
Not on the news,
We haven't been on the
news.
No.
Now, the first annual
turnout.
Chamber of... Well, we better pull up some stuff here.
Yes, we better. We had how many people?
Oh, almost 160.
Isn't that awesome?
And the first Calaveras County Economic Development Summit was held on Friday at Bret Harte. And there was a really good cross-section of the business leaders. There were people from all walks of life.
Yes.
County government centers, City of Angels Camp, and it has received very, very high marks. And one of the things is
very impressed with the chamber. Yeah, they put.
If you haven't had a chance to look at it, there was we live streamed a lot of it, but there was a keynote from Tim Johnson who did for the California Business Minute. It is a very, very where's his. And if our producer Ed Lark is watching, he hates it when I scroll. So please bear with the scrolling. Here we go.
We've had a lot of stories since then. So
yes, it's been going way down there. Let's see. Here we go.
There you go.
Some assembly required. And this one is some great keynotes. His address runs about a half hour or so, but if you're interested in economic development in Calaveras County, it's worth a half hour time investment. He goes over different things about, he's a former city manager for, I guess his most famous stint is for Yuba City. He came into there right after we had all the floods.
Okay.
All right. Okay. In the 86. And also spent some time in the city manager's office in San Diego.
Okay.
And they set some goals when they were in the Yuba City area. It was one of the worst places in the nation to do business.
Wow.
And they set some goals as they wanted to get into the top 10, and they did.
They did.
And in one thing, they went after some jobs, and they landed 1,100 jobs.
Isn't that wonderful? Yes.
All right. So pretty cool stuff.
And they had a great turnout, look at all those people. That's just great.
Yes, and there's also so I would suggest you watch it. I mean, it's a really, really good.
This was put on by the chamber, the county, and also the City of Angels Camp. Correct?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
And so that happened on Friday, and it was an all-day event. And let's see.
They also have the grand opening of the new Calaveras High School pool on Friday.
Congrats.
Congratulations, they have a pool.
The Redskins can now swim.
There is now a pool there wasn't a pool in Calaveras County that they were using, correct?
I don't think an official high school
Yes, but
pool.
now the swim teams have a pool. Congratulations. We have a beautiful photo of that on the pinetree.net. I think that's just wonderful. Don't you?
There also was a early morning structure fire on Saturday morning. It was at 26 Friday morning or Saturday morning?
It was Saturday morning.
Saturday morning at 2622 Meacham, and our thoughts and prayers to the family. Does it look like it was an electrical
Yeah, they're
related?
saying that it was electrical related. Yes, we got the official fire report today. The home was a total loss, obviously. I think you're saying about $300,000 in damages.
Yeah, it was completely gone.
Yes, our thoughts and prayers do go out to the family on that. That's very difficult. Very difficult time.
And also, on a little bit of positive real estate news, we finally got our coverage up on the Silver Mountain condos. This is the first all-new condominium developments to be built in Bear Valley, believe it or not, since the 70s.
They're beautiful. These have been long awaited.
Yeah, since the 1970s. Very tight construction on these. If you walk around, lots of times if you're in a condo building, you can tell it's an apartment. This is like almost vault-like.
You have no clue that you're in. When you're in these things, you don't even. You feel like you're in a house.
They did some special things where they staggered the studs, so studs don't go all the way through the wall for sound transfer. Then I believe they filled all the wall with foam and insulation.
They're beautiful. They have like the nice wood trim, and they're all painted pretty. And were the models just painted, or all of them painted?
I think all of them are.
They kind of have that nice taupe color,
Yes, and if you would like to see, and as if you don't get enough video with me in it, there's also one there with, we interviewed Joel Barnett on the condominium project.
One of the owners of Bear Valley Real Estate.
And if you've had enough of me, which I can understand, you can hold your hand over me while you watch it, or a thumb.
I didn't know you were on camera with him. I thought he was just there by himself.
You don't have to look at me.
He was nervous. He was a little nervous about going on camera.
Me?
Not you, Joel.
But that way,
he said, "How does my hair look?" Remember?
Yes, that way. If you don't want to look at me, in fact, we could do it. It'd be kind of like this. See, we'll just.
Right? But we also have some lovely pictures of the beautiful condominiums that actually are staged, of course, with some lovely furniture.
We do.
So you can imagine how your furnishings would look inside. So they are taking reservations, correct? Just absolutely lovely. They are really, really
they're
pretty.
selling.
Underground parking and what?
They're selling them.
Yeah, they're selling them already.
Yeah, so not just reservations.
I mean
go buy one.
I mean deposits. Yes,
go
buy one now.
Yeah.
They start around 500
or 2 or 3.
550,000, I guess.
Yeah, and they said I guess we're not supposed to talk price, right?
Oh, for God's sakes! And they even have a two-story one that you can buy. Remember that 2-story?
Yeah,
it's like a house.
And they said they're going to take trade-ins. So if you have a house or a condo up there already, they'll take it as trade-in.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. They'll wheel and deal.
Are you kidding me?
No. Not kidding you.
So if you have a house that you want to trade, that you have already up there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or a condo up there.
Wow, I didn't know.
They'll take trade-ins, food stamps. Doesn't matter.
Will they take pine tree bucks?
I doubt they'll take pine tree bucks. Anyway.
Darn it!
All right, and also from Africa.
Yes.
This is a very, very cool story.
Very nice
a 2004 Bret Hart graduate and former Miss Calaveras, Catherine Seiler.
Yes.
Is over in Tanzania. Now, you've been following this closer than I have, Kim. What's going on over there?
A little bit. She emailed us a couple months ago, and we put up an article for her. I think she wants to be a doctor. She's over in Africa doing basically some medical volunteering for the people over in Africa. This is all, not getting paid, just because of out of the kindness of her heart. And she was actually able to raise $2,000 for her trip just from the article we put up on the pinetree.net. Isn't that awesome?
We actually helped?
So we actually did. Our advertising does work. See? There you go.
There you go. All right.
Her trip consists of 9 pre-med students, so she must be going into medicine, sounds like, from around the U.S. who spent 3 days together in New York for orientation prior to traveling to Africa. And we have excerpts about some of her amazing experiences included with lots and lots of photos. This is really, I put a little comment on there telling her how proud I am of her, because think about it, this young gal, what is she, 20?
Yeah, probably
early 20s. Over in a different country without her family, volunteering to help, the people that are in need over there. I think I'm so impressed with that. I'm sure her family is very proud also. So, and I hear she has a very slow internet connection.
Over there?
Yes. So that's kind of a bummer. That's the only thing she's bummed about.
Okay. And also, we wanted to say, or we had the pleasure to attend.
Yes, we did.
The Angels Camp Business Association meeting, and you'll see some very nice slides prepared
my shirt matches the color
by the
back
City
there.
of Angels Camp.
I have the pine tree colors on
there we
tonight.
go. Prepared by the City of Angels Camp, and this discussion was led by Planning Commissioners Bob Middleton and Henry Petahome.
Yes, Planning
Now,
Commissioner.
this is the draft large format retail development guidelines, and camps was packed tonight.
You said about 150 people.
I didn't count noses, but it was pretty full.
Pretty full. Pretty full house.
It was. Now, one of the things, and I know we've said this before, and we said this in our written piece, is we thought it was a very smart move to include Mr. Middleton on this, because his family and he not only run Middleton's Hallmark, they own a shopping center there.
Yes.
So, if you have guidelines that he helped craft that would still attract business investment and also protect his interests going forward, I think you're going to be. I think you're going to be pretty.
I think we're going to be
pretty right
safe. Yes, you're not going to get a Walmart or anything like that. I don't think. Lowe's, Home Depot, probably nothing like that.
Well, they did, and we'll post these up on the site. In fact, I think we already have them. This is some of the guidelines that what they're going to look at for any. These are guidelines apply to all individual stores in excess of 60,000 feet.
Okay.
All right. They shall not be standalone projects, but shall incorporate into the design a mixture of land uses, including a second floor or higher attached residential units.
So just like the Coppertown Square.
Coppertown Square.
Which is very beautiful.
All access roads, water supply, sewage disposal, and stored and drainage facilities shall be adequate to serve the proposed project, or an assessment district shall be formed to provide area-wide streets, water, sewer, storm
Sounds like
drainage
it'll
facilities.
be beautiful. Now, I'm curious. How did was there any public comment on this?
Yes, there were, and some
go?
of them were very cogent comments from people who'd moved to the area and wanted to make sure that it didn't end up looking like where they left.
Exactly.
Those were good comments. Some comments on infrastructure. We need to make sure we have the infrastructure in place. But I think a lot of things is the guidelines that they wrote address a lot of that.
Okay. Yes, they do. They do definitely.
And in fact, there was a developer that has done several shopping centers, and I believe the Long Shopping Center here in town, also the Rayleigh's Center in Jackson, I believe is theirs as well.
Which is beautiful.
And they're looking at some of these things about, and a couple things that he thought were too onerous, but maybe the city would like those. It would sure make it prettier. Parking areas should be generously landscaped with not less than one deciduous tree and one evergreen tree per 5 parking spaces.
Okay. So they want lots of trees.
With a preference to native species.
Yes. Okay.
So, and all.
Do you have this? Are you going to play the slideshow or not? That we have? Or is that going to hurt the news?
No.
Oh.
There we go. In order to ensure that large format retail establishments are compatible with the community, the following guidelines, as outlined in this presentation, are proposed. These guidelines apply to all individuals 60,000 square
feet. I didn't realize it was the same thing
feet.
you were reading. Sorry about that.
Shall not be standalone. Second floor. Not permitted in a historic zone. And there's a slide there of some upper. This is looks like a movie theater complex with apartments above it. A Target.
So that's kind of the idea
like a multi-story Target.
Okay.
Utilities, want to make sure that the developers pay for their fair share. Examples to avoid. There's an out-of-business Walmart.
By itself?
Is that the one in Stockton? No, I don't know. Maybe it's not. Because they had to...
Because they crossed the street and did the super center.
Direct access, there we go. Buildings. LEED. All buildings shall be LEED, Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design certified. Blank walls along arterial roadways and collector streets shall be softened with facade treatments and or landscaping.
Okay. And we will have this full slideshow on the pinetree.net if you'd like to take a look at that. Correct?
Pedestrians are encouraged.
Okay.
Yeah, very nice. It was very nice stuff. I know this has been a hot button. And if there's any indication about how maybe right on they got it out of the box, is that normally, if you've been following our site lately, the pinetree.net, it's been very chatty.
Yes, it has been. We've had comments on even fishing reports now. We've become quite the
people have wanted to talk.
Quite the forum. They just want to talk on the Pine Tree now.
Yeah, we've
always allowed comments.
About 3 years, we've always allowed comments. Usually
sometimes some not so nice ones come out to John and I, right?
Yes, so usually anonymous ones,
feelings.
especially on county government issues and things like that.
No, not those. I mean, I don't mean the. Never mind. The comments that come out aren't on us.
Aren't always flattering.
No, they say why, like I'll do a poll. Why did you talk about Wally with all the stuff going on in county government? Things like that. I didn't mean to.
Okay.
I meant sometimes they think we're too lighthearted on things.
A few things we're finding out because we want to say thank you because every day now is sometimes as many as 30,000. We'll get us about 30,000 visits a day. We want to say thank you very much.
Just the two of us, and we have one part-time reporter.
Yeah, but it's kind of the interesting thing is sometimes your finding is your eyes.
It's like you
can't please everybody.
No, you can't. We have a lot of opinions. We do. A lot of different opinions.
Lots of times you can't even please yourself.
No.
So, wasn't that a song?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, but anyway.
This poll, this week, our poll is more serious. It's on politics. I just thought I'd try to steer away from that last week a little bit and say, have you seen Wall-E, right? That's because it's the #1 movie in America.
Yeah.
And so people said, don't care, like Kung Fu Panda better. Like I said, I preferred Kung Fu Panda.
You liked Kung Fu Panda?
Yes, over Wall-E. Anyway, tomorrow is the Board of Supervisors meeting.
Oh, boy.
Tuesday's meeting. Board of Supes are back in action today. There will be public comment at 9:10 a.m. Some of the agenda items include a minute order authorizing Director of the Health Services Agency to sign the acceptance of allocation agreement from the Tobacco Control Section in the amount of $150,000 for tobacco use and prevention education. There will also be a minute order approving a 10-year lease with CCWD for the existing White Pines Park area to be used as Calaveras County playground and rec area.
Cool.
That's nice. There will also be a closed session regarding public employee discipline, dismissal, release. I'm not sure what time that's going to happen. We have the full agenda and full board packet on the pinetree.net.
Yes, we do. And also, if you've been following it, if you've been following from any of the media outlets, our site as well, the closed session tomorrow is expected to be on the Community Development
Director Stephanie Moreno. Yes.
And this is, and one of the things this was kind of interesting is we were speaking with Supervisor Tom Tryon tonight after the large format thing. Mm-hmm. And he was also saying this, I think everybody needs to be cognizant of, is this is somebody's career.
Yes, it is.
This stuff is, rightly or wrongly, this is tough stuff. And it looks like, because
we're not sure what the outcome's going to be.
Not sure of the outcome, but if, because we talked to quite a few people. It is expected that some action will be taken on that tomorrow, and it's
very sad actually.
It is
because everybody there is human, and they all are working hard, and
from all accounts that she's worked long hours,
yes,
lots of nights.
She looks
Everybody
very
says
tired.
that it's there until 10, 11 o'clock at night, long hours. So that's something that's something that is expected to be on. Discussed in the closed session tomorrow.
So we won't find out anything tomorrow then?
Maybe.
Okay.
They're still setting the ground rules on that, where one of the things is they may do a closed session, and then before they do the review of communication and correspondence, so they would have the closed session and then they finish up. That may not, in fairness to the county's employee, that may not be the correct timing for that, so we won't know. But I don't anticipate on something like this where they would leave everybody holding, so to speak, for a week.
Okay.
So but I'm sure there would be at least some communication. That would be my
live stream. You can't live stream the closed session, but you can live stream public comments again.
Our session, our
it's just
connection
so hard.
there.
The connection there is so slow, and we have everybody pounding the site to get information, so it's really hard for it to stay stable enough.
Yeah, and most of that is
right.
It's not the people pounding it. I mean, we have server capacity. One of the things is the connection there was so slow. Mm-hmm. If we drop it down, we'll try to drop. Last weeks we did, and we had some broken sessions.
Yes, it kept breaking. Yes.
So we'll try to do it tomorrow live, but it may be kind of like bad cell phone.
Yes, it was. It was a little bit like that last week.
Yeah.
But we will have full video coverage of the meeting when it's finished.
Yes.
For your viewing pleasure. And we will try to keep you posted as soon as we find out anything. Right?
Yes, we will.
Was there anything else released last week before we left? Before we had the weekend? Any other public documents or anything released? I can't remember.
No, there was probably so, but some of the stuff will all come out in the wash.
No, I mean that we have on. We'd like to send our thoughts and prayers to the Snow family. Tony Snow has passed away after a long bout with cancer. He was first diagnosed in 2005, and then developed cancer again when in 2007.
Yeah, with the
Too young. Very nice man. He just seemed like a very nice man to me. I don't know him personally. He came across like a genuinely nice man.
I thought it was an interesting thing where, we got to hurry up here a little bit. Looks like weather, you're going to be in the triple digits, 102, 101, 100 Angels Camp, lower elevations, down Copper, a few degrees hotter. And if you're looking to escape the heat, Bear Valley should be up high of 80s. In the 80s tomorrow, high 70s the rest of the time there. And also, a little bit of stuff that I don't know if we talked about it yet. It looks like the Utica Hotel is back on the market. We'll talk about that more.
Evening.
And that's it. Yeah, our thoughts and prayers to the Snow family. And one of the things that we talked to one person said is even right, left, Republican, Democrat, he was completely absent of malice.
Yes.
He was a genuinely caring guy.
You could tell. You could tell.
Thank you very much.
Good night.
Good night.